Good morning. I'm up in my office right now reading while having my morning coffee before starting work for the day. And I wanted to start this new reading vlog because I just finished filming my February one and I had so much fun. So we're just gonna keep going. I am currently reading Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This is the cutest, perfect little rom-com in a book that I have read in a long time. It's not too corny. It's not too poorly written. It's like genuinely so nice. I'm having the hardest time putting it down. I've read it so quickly and I wanted to start this intro before I finish it this morning because I have just been breezing through this. I can't decide if I want to make this a normal reading vlog or make this a romance book vlog where I just read romance novels. I don't know, or if I make both. So maybe I'll do another intro. This is my first Sarah Adams book and I really like the way that she writes. It actually feels like there's substance in it. With romance books, I feel like the risk is really high for it to kind of feel like a Wattpad book or just lack substance. If you like a solid rom-com movie that like hits, you know, I think you'll really like this book. I don't even know what to compare it to because I feel like the writing's good. It had me hooked from the very beginning. There isn't any spice. Maybe that's why it's so good, honestly. It's so cute. It's basically about a girl named Annie who doesn't have much experience in love and feels kind of awkward with dating. So then she hires her brother's fiance's bodyguard because her brother's fiance is like a celebrity. And so she's got this like super sexy tattooed bodyguard, and so she hires him to like coach her with dating, and they're supposed to just be friends. Oh, and then she runs a little flower shop. Like, honestly, why can't we get a movie adaptation of this small town girl running a flower shop? Because this is so much better than what's her name, Lily, and It Ends With Us. Like, this is actually believable in my mind. I don't know, I just really like it, and I've read it so quickly, and it's such a solid rom-com. Like, if I needed like a good, feel-good, happy book, this is it. So I do recommend Sarah Adams. I'm about to finish it, but I wanted to start this when I was still reading it. Also, I've noticed, and I really like when books kind of break the fourth wall and mention book talk or bookstagram or like the book community online. I've noticed that a lot with like, I think it was She Gets the Girl, Icebreaker, and now this book. So I love when books do that and kind of like acknowledge themselves, because there was a part during the bachelorette party where Annie's sister mentioned she has a bookstagram. God, there was something else in terms of like the online book community. It just like makes you feel like the author knows that you also exist, not like personally, but like I love when they break that, because I recently discovered like the book community and how nice it is online. So I love that authors always put like the book community into books like this, if that makes sense. But yeah, I have 2 chapters left. I just wanted to start this reading vlog. I'll show you my March TBR in a little bit when we pick out the book that I'm reading after this. But welcome to today's reading vlog. Let's get reading. I just finished reading Practice Makes Perfect. It was super, super cute. I loved the ending. I always feel a little embarrassed to admit when books like have me close to tears, but I was close to crying in this. And I don't know if that's a me problem or if it's the book, but I really, really love the way that she wrapped up the story. I loved the ending. It wasn't too like, I don't know, sometimes endings in romance books can be like a lot, but this one felt very solid. I also loved that the epilogue gave us like a little humor, but it wasn't as bad as like the icebreaker epilogue. Like, I'm usually not a fan of epilogues, but this epilogue was just like a newspaper snippet. So you get like a little bit into their life, but not enough where I'm like, oh, you know? This is definitely a 4-star read to me. It could be a 5-star if we're just talking about the genre. Just newly released trendy romance novels, this would be a 5-star, but in my bigger wide range of every single book that I've read, I have to be very selective with my favorites in 5 stars, so this is a 4-star to me. I definitely am going to be picking up the rest of Sarah Adams' books. I want to read When in Rome, The Cheat Sheet, and like basically everything else. I think she just released like 2 more books as well, so really awesome book to start this video with, but I guess I should pick out the next book in this video. And sorry, I'm getting so hot. Let me show you my March TBR. I don't think this video will come out in March, but for right now, here is my March TBR and all of the books that I will be choosing from. If you watched my March TBR video, then you've seen these, so I'm gonna just go quickly through these, but this is the pile that I will be choosing my next book from. So we have Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed, Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner, Something to Talk About also by Meryl Wilsner, She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb, One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McCanns, In Pieces by Sally Field, and Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True. I'm definitely itching for a hardcover because I haven't read a big hardcover since I think like December. I really want to read None of This Is True, but something just doesn't feel like now is the time. I'm feeling oddly drawn to One of Us is Lying. This is a YA mystery, I believe, where a kid ends up dead in detention and you have to figure out what happened to him. Looks like it might be a really quick read, and hopefully this gets me into a quick reading routine, you know, something that I fly through, makes me want to read more books. So I feel like I want to read One of Us is Lying next because I have a feeling this will be a quick, easy read, and I haven't read a mystery or a thriller in a long time, nor have I read a YA book since The Hunger Games. So I think this is our next read. Later, I've been reading One of Us is Lying in my sunroom from about like 4 to 5:30 because that's when golden hour hits right now, and the room gets so bright and warm and cozy, so that has been my dedicated reading time. I have 2 little chapters left and I just had to take a break. I read probably about half of it today. The second half went really quickly, and I just have to say that I am so disappointed by this book. About halfway through, it was about a 3-star. I was very, very confident that it was just like an average teen YA mystery, but then by the end, this immediately became a 1-star read. I will say I guessed the ending as to like who killed Simon, but I was hoping that I was wrong, so I was really, really upset that that was actually like what happened. I don't know. So that was definitely part of it, that I predicted what happened like very early on, and then I thought that would be such a stupid way to like have the book be a plot twist. I don't know, it's always just like a bummer when you predict what's going on and it's like not even a good like prediction where you think it's like, oh my god, I'm so smart because I solved this. It was like, damn, I really hope that that's not how they do it, you know? The vibe of this book though was definitely giving like a mix of 13 Reasons Why, Pretty Little Liars, and like any old ABC Family show. Like it definitely felt like a 13 Reasons Why copy. Actually, the more I think about it, the more that this is exactly 13 Reasons Why, but like stranger. I don't know. I'm about to go off on Goodreads and write a review about this book, but at first I was like, oh cute, this is giving like a little Pretty Little Liars 13 Reasons Why, because somebody was running like this online blog on Tumblr after Simon died that was still like spilling secrets, so it felt like A from Pretty Little Liars a little bit. The more that this plot like sank in and went on, the less that it worked, and there's a reason why 13 Reasons Why is like so problematic and not okay. I was also wondering while I was reading this if this book was hard to believe or if I was just too old to read it, because it felt very unrealistic, like the characters and the dialogue and everything, and like the plot itself. Also, like just the plot itself of like the investigation and lawyers and how they were accusing these teenagers. I just kept thinking this is like so not protocol and not how a case like this would go at all. So that part took me out of it because none of it felt like realistic in the way that they were being accused or handling the case. And the whole book, you obviously like emphasize with the victim, so the twist, the truth about like what happens, it makes you realize that you're kind of like rooting for the bad guy, or like somebody that you definitely should not be emphasizing with in like the bigger scheme of things. I don't know. Should I just have a spoiler section? I'm gonna do it because I need to talk about it, and I haven't even finished the book yet, but there's no need. There's like one chapter left and it's gonna be like a conclusion chapter, I'm sure. Skip to this timestamp if you don't want spoilers, but for those that are not going to read this book or have read it, here's my time to shine. So, from almost the beginning, I had a feeling that this was self-inflicted. And then the more that the plot went on, there's just so much more evidence that makes you feel like it was self-inflicted. Simon basically does it to himself to ruin everybody else's lives. He has friends in on it with him. That part took me out too, where this is like trigger warning to the max of being like, hey, I'm gonna off myself. Will you help me with this from the grave plan? The fuck? No, like high school kids would not do that. So he has this big plan to ruin everybody's life after himself, because he was basically saying that this is so problematic. That like school pew were like uncreative, and that he would take everybody out and himself out in a more creative way. So he basically is like saying he can do it better or differently, because a lot of the school, because the example that's in this book is that there was one nearby where like 7 students were killed and then the shooter kills himself. But Simon is like, that's boring, I can do it better. So he himself in a more creative way, and then takes down the 7 students, or however many that he wanted, in a more creative way to ruin their lives. And then he has his friend to help him carry out this plan, his other like girlfriend person who keeps her mouth shut about it and is supposed to basically publish like a tell-all Simon's version like a year after, of being like, this was my great plan and I got away with it. So you had us emphasizing with a kid that said school shootings were boring and not creative and he could do it in a better way. You had us empathizing with the victim, who was really the killer, the whole book. Then you have these kids that are okay with their friend himself and like helping him from beyond the grave. Doesn't make any sense. And I don't know. It was not good. 1 freaking star. If you have read it, let me know your thoughts, but I was just so like WTF the whole time. Yeah, and again, maybe if I were the target audience and I was in high school, maybe this would hit different and I would be like, this is amazing. Or, you know, as a teenager, I was romanticizing the dark stuff in this book anyway, so maybe I would think that that was a brilliant plan. But honestly, I was like so messed up in the head that I might have like taken inspiration from this book. But it's just like not good. And the fact that this has been turned into a TV show too, I almost want to watch the TV show just to see if that has like changed my perspective at all, or if it's just as bad. Yeah, it was it wasn't it. I understand why somebody donated this to the thrift store now. Okay, I'll report back when I finish the book and then we can pick a much better title. But such a letdown. I'm so upset with how she chose to like take this plot, because it was set up to be such a good murder mystery, like whodunit, you know? The killer is in this room type of dinner party murder mystery thing. But I'm so sorry if you like this book. This was just terrible. Moving on. this is gonna be a spoiler. The high school girl admits that she cheated in high school on national television, and Yale University tweets her saying, everybody makes mistakes. Like, can't wait for your application. That might be the most unrealistic part of this fucking book. Epilogue, here we go. Finished it. Maybe it's just me because this is a Random House book. Is it? She acknowledges Random House. Yeah, this is a Random House published book and it's been turned into a TV show. So maybe it is just me, but one flippin' star. I really didn't like it. I'm curious to hear what other people thought of this. I think she thought it would be a good plot twist, but it really was just like the scapegoat, and it made you really alter the way that you like perceive the plot. There wasn't a single character that you're rooting for. I don't know, I could go on and on about why I didn't like this book. I just think it was predictable and problematic, and I'm confused why so many people liked it. I'm glad I finally finished it. On to something better. I came upstairs to choose the next book to read in this video. It's almost, I think it's past, it's 6:30 already. Dang, no wonder it's so dark up here. Anyway, I am looking at my March TBR list. As a little reminder, we have In Pieces by Sally Field, Lisa Jewell, None of This Is True, Wally Lamb, She's Come Undone, Kylie Reed, Such a Fun Age, and then Meryl Wilsner, Something to Talk About, and Cleat Cute. And I have the urge to start, drumroll please. This book has been on my mind a lot today, and I feel like I really want to start None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I need a solid thriller after this last read. I also impulsively started a new reading vlog, reading thrillers and ranking them. So I just filmed a little bit for that. That will come out after this, I'm sure, because I need to read all of the thrillers in order to post that. So I also chose None of This Is True as the second thriller in that video. But I've heard amazing things about Lisa Jewell as well as this book. So I'm really hoping to bounce back after One of Us Is Lying and have like a good solid thriller to read. So let's get reading, and I can't wait to tell you what I think. First things first, now that I am actually reading this book, I've got to take the sticker off. I don't think I bought this at Barnes & Noble. I think I bought this at a thrift store. I don't really mind stickers like this on books until I read them, and then that kind of feels like the moment when I can promote them and like take off the sticker. This one is being extra tricky. I'm trying not to leave any of that like residue on the back, but I can tell this one has been on here for a long time because she is being tricky. This one is so great, I made a visor. It's only like low 60s today, so I'm a little bit bundled, but I just want to be outside reading so bad. I think it's only a couple days later, but I need to update you before I finish None of This Is True. It's almost midnight, I'm in bed. I have both my dryer going and I've got my nighttime like alarm on. I have the knockoff Hatch. That's from Amazon. I love it so much. So I have it set to play night noise with like a dim, warm hued light for 80 minutes before bed. So I've got crickets on right now, but we need to talk about this book. you were sleeping a second ago. We need to talk about this book before I finish it because, oh my God, I have never read a book so fast. I can't put this down. I have been reading this outside on the couch before bed. I'm losing sleep over it. I have never read a book this fast and have been this like obsessed with it. I knew really early on that this was going to be a 5-star read, but even out of all my 5-star reads, this is like a 5-star out of the 5-star, if that makes sense. I haven't had a book hook me this well since I read Evelyn Hugo almost 2 summers ago, and even Evelyn Hugo like didn't have the effect that this thriller is having on me. I totally get it now when people are saying like, read this if you want to get back into reading, or 5-star reads. This is like a 6-star read. I'm not even done. It's so good. I'm on part 3 of this book and I have so many theories, so many predictions. It never feels as good when you predict the plot twist, so I do kind of hope I'm wrong, but I'm on part 3 and it's so good. I'm gonna finish this tonight. What's crazy about this book too is I genuinely thought for a moment that I was watching a Netflix show and not reading a book. I got home from yoga tonight and after I showered, I was like, ooh, I wanna get back to that Netflix show that I'm watching. No, I was not watching a Netflix show. I meant I need to read this book. This is the first book in forever that makes me feel like I'm watching a really good crime documentary, because there are elements to this that is a Netflix crime doc. So it has like the script of one and you follow it. Like in this world, there's a Netflix documentary about this crime case, whatever the case is. And it's done so well that my brain literally thought that I was watching a Netflix show. And then when I got home tonight, I was like, I want to watch that show again. I'm so addicted to it. It's a book. I can't tell you the last time a book has made me forget that I'm reading like this. Like Evelyn Hugo, to me, will always be so special, but this one I already know is going to have the same effect, and it will be one of those books that will be like an all-time favorite. Like if I were to do one of those like reading until I read a 5-star book video, this would be the first 5-star. I don't think I've rated a book 5 stars in so long. I can't remember, and this is a 5-star. I have never gone through a book so quickly and been so into it. I just know that every single word matters, and I'm trying so hard to like pick up the pieces. I have so many theories. Okay, if you haven't read the book yet, just skip to this time because I do want to talk a little bit about my theories just to like pinpoint it. I just want you to know where my head is at. Part of me thinks that Josie was kidnapped. She doesn't really realize that it's like Stockholm syndrome in a way, because it would make sense. She says things like, oh, when the girls were young, he used to leave me in the apartment without a key all day. And then she said that her daughter is finally free, or she just wants to be free. And there are all these little hints where I'm like, this literally sounds like he kidnapped a child and forced her to have his kids. And then part of me also thinks the dog has like a tracking device in it because she always has to bring the dog with her. Part of me also was like, maybe that's actually her father, because she doesn't know her dad. That's another theory, but I don't know. It just feels like she was taken as a child and kidnapped, and that's why she's so stuck with like the denim. The way that she thinks and talks is so like someone that is just stuck at a certain age. She's obviously very obsessed with Alex, but I feel like she steals her things because she doesn't have anything of her own. That was the other thing too, where she was like, the home that she lives in, it's all of Walter's things. Like she doesn't have anything. I guess she was so young, but still. My other prediction is that Josie killed Brooke. Oh, also I'm like pretty sure Josie killed Walter and her daughter Roxy, and they're just like in the house. Maybe I shouldn't read this tonight. Now I'm scared. Oh my God, I might actually be scared. I psyched myself out and I had to stop because I was getting scared. I was low-key freaking myself out and getting pretty scared. It's just right at the discovery where I know they're about to discover something gruesome, because that's what it's been building up to, and it's like right at that discovery description part, and I just don't want to picture it at 1 a.m. before bed because I just won't be able to sleep. And I don't know how detailed, dark, or graphic it's gonna be, but I haven't been scared by a book since like being a teenager, probably since Gillian Flynn's Sharp Object Dark Places books. But I need to read this during the day. I cannot believe I'm saying that because it has been so long, but this book just really puts you there. I'm freaking out. Okay, tomorrow. It's the next day. I've been gone all day running a ton of different errands. I had like an antique show this morning. I actually vlogged it and it's a separate vlog. I have no idea when that vlog's coming out, but it was a big day. I just got home. I have been thinking about this book all day. All I wanted to do today was come home and finish her. I want to clarify, last night, I don't know what got into me. That's how like good this book is I got nervous to read at night because I got to the Netflix like script detail part. Like it was literally like I was watching a scary Netflix show and it says a gruesome discovery was made on Monday night. Like, and that's when I knew that I was about to realize exactly what happened, and I didn't know how detailed, how graphic, how gory it would be. And my brain and my imagination, I just knew it would go there at night. So I had to wait until daylight. I want to finish this book so bad. So I am curled up on the couch, ready. Look at this. This is all that I have left. My friend Maddie is coming over in like an hour. Like today was very go, go, go. I just got home, I just cleaned, I just did everything I need to do. So now I can read until Maddie comes over and I'm just like, finally, like this is the moment. So big updates to come, but let's figure out what the heck this plot twist is and what really happened. I knew it. I was kind of right. Oh, why am I holding my nose as if I can smell what she's describing? Oh my God. Whew, I'm so glad that I waited because this is a lot and it's kind of dark. But if you like crime and like cases, you would love this. There's no way. Without giving too much away, the timeline and the descriptions and like the diet and everything that has happened, I just don't see how it would be possible for somebody to... Okay, I gotta keep reading. I just finished the book. Oh my God. Oh my God. Nothing has held me like this since Evelyn Hugo, but even then Evelyn Hugo was not this gripping. Like, I'm scared to pick up another book because I know it won't be anything like this, but this is so good. Marnie and I were obsessed with it. The one twist at the end really got me. I did not think that that was what happened, but that twist was good. But then of course the final part makes you wonder, like, what do you even believe? It's so good. It's so good. When an author is able to balance so many different parts of a plot that well without it seeming out of place or overwhelming, like everything fit into the puzzle so well, it is such a gem. I'm so sad that I finished it because I don't know what to do with myself. And I have not felt that way after reading in years. So this has been the best read that I have read in a long ass time. 6 stars. This is 6-star worthy. I'm stunned. I'm like sitting here still thinking like, what even really happened? I really hope this has a movie adaptation. Honestly, it needs to have a Netflix TV show adaptation because it felt like I was watching a Netflix TV show this whole time, but I'm so tired and I'm so shook by this book. I cannot believe how good that was. It is the next morning. I just finished working out real quick in my wellness room. I don't know if I've posted the video yet showing the new equipment that I got in there, but a company recently sent me a bike, like a cycle bike, so I was using that for the first time. My legs are gonna be so sore tomorrow, but it was so worth it. Anyway, as you saw in last night's clip, I finished this book last night. So good. I haven't had a book grip me, like keep me hooked this well since The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is addicting. It's just so juicy. It's what every single, I think, twisty true crime thriller plot hopes to achieve, and it was thick. It wasn't just like one case and point. What I really admired about Lisa Jewell's skill and talent is that she balanced so many details and so many interwebbing like parts of the plot that made it so much better than just like one of those films that just have like a missing person or just one murder. There is so much here, and it's not done in a confusing and overwhelming way. Like, it's just so good because there's so many bits and pieces where as you're discovering the truth, you're still like, wait, what about this detail? What about this person? What about that memory or that statement? And it comes back, and it's just so good. Like, I don't know what type of like spider web of like details she had written out when she was writing this, but this is my first 5-star read of the year, and it is my first 6-star read, I think, since Evelyn Hugo. So I was a huge fan. We're gonna pick out a new book right now. I've got a couple of ideas, but let me show you the piles and the options that we are working with. This corner is kind of my book corner right now. I have a lot of piles. The pile up here is my old February like TBR. 2 books from January I didn't read, and then some books from February that I did not read as well. But honestly, I'm not feeling a romance at all right now. This is my predetermined March TBR, but again, I don't feel like reading any of these books. My heart right now is just set on thrillers and true crime and mysteries. Over here, I've started categorizing these books on my TBR. So these are the books that I want to read in summer for sure. Books that I think would be so great at the pool, at the beach, at the lake. Mad Honey, like this just looks like a summer book. This looks like a summer book. And then I like to read romances and fluffy Colleen Hoover in the summertime. These are all of my anticipated fall books that I think would be good to read in the fall because they either look like fall or have more of a like magical surrealism theme. Marnie is saying hi, Marnie. But the most exciting and surprisingly largest pile, I don't know how I ended up buying so many thrillers, is my thriller list. I'm also filming a thriller video, and these are all the books I want to read and rank for that video. Honestly though, based on this pile, these 3 are sticking out to me. I love Lisa Jewell so much, but I kind of want to space out her books. The only other one I own right now is The Family Upstairs. Lucy Foley, The Paris Apartment, has kind of been sticking out to me, and then Hostage. So it will probably be one of these books. Hostage is pretty self-explanatory. It's a plane hostage situation. I think our protagonist is the flight attendant on this flight. So I might start Hostage. And then The Paris Apartment with Lucy Foley. You know, it's a classic whodunit, and I think that's what I'm looking for. And then Lisa Jewell's The Family Upstairs. I know nothing about this one, but I also might want to savor it, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna read The Paris Apartment and then The Family Upstairs. I'm just in such a thriller mood. We're reading thrillers. Also, while I was recording, Marnie tucked herself in to this little cat bed. Look at how cute she is. Not my camera falling over. need to end this reading vlog because, spoiler, I got severely sick 2 weeks ago. Probably COVID, I just never tested, but it was like the fatigue and exhaustion. It felt like pneumonia, but it was probably COVID. And I feel like I'm still getting over it. I still have a really bad head fog, fatigue. I'm sleeping like 14 hours a day. Taking a full breath is impossible. Either way, I'm not here to talk about how sick I am. What really sucks though is I was on track to read like 8 books for March. I read 4 books the first 2 weeks of March, and then I got sick. Couldn't do anything for like a solid week and a half out of the 2 weeks I was sick. So I lost a ton of reading time, and now I'm just catching up. I'm so behind with my YouTube. Like, it won't make sense because by the time I get this video up, it'll be so much further. It'll be so far away, but I was doing really well. I was getting 2 videos up a week. I was ahead of my content, and then didn't last. So I'm really upset about that because there was nothing I could do about getting sick, but anyway, I don't know where I ended off, but I finished The Paris Apartment. I gave this book 2 stars. I really didn't like it. I wish I had more energy to talk about it, but it just completely flopped. I kept waiting for it to get better. I kept waiting to get into it. I was not into this book, not attached to the characters. I was bored. The one good thing about this book is the chapters were so short, so I did like that, especially because I was reading this one while I was sick, so it was just hard for me to read like a longer story. What was missing about this whodunit? A body, like a reason. It was just bad. I'm still gonna read the guest list because I've heard that that is a lot better, but I feel like there are so many amazing thrillers I could recommend and would recommend over this book. So I'm curious what you thought about The Paris Apartment, because for me, it was not it. But I think that was the last book that I needed to update this reading vlog on. I just started The Love Hypothesis for something easy, but that won't be in this video. Thank you for watching. I'll make another one soon, but right now I'm playing the catch-up game. So yeah, bye.